What's good? When it's your boy Big Ben, back another banger, and today we got a video made by Corporate Ink Media, and as y'all read the title, it is called "I Hate Mordicai as a Friend and a Character." I kind of have a feeling where he's going with this. I can't lie, I kind of have a feeling where he's going with this. Probably he's talking about because he's been the L friend of Rigby, because he's trying to get to the M's, which if you really think about it, that is kind of messed up. He really literally killed Rigby, basically, essentially killed him. Obviously, he didn't mean to do it, but he essentially killed Rigby because he cop blocked him, which honestly, I'm going to say that's a bigger L on Rigby, because as your man, you're not supposed to be cop blocking. Like, that's just L man's activity. I can't lie. But they was both being L's mans. I'm going to have to give a bigger L mans to Rigby. Obviously, we'll get to his video later. But we're talking about Mordicai on this one, you know what I'm saying? He's going to, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna listen and see what he has to say. It could be a long video. We don't know. I'm a top tier yapper. We gonna find out. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. And if y'all enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment below y'all thoughts, and comment below that Shrek what I should do on the channel next I get to what ASAP, and yeah. I'll be the videos every day. Couple of events, straight into it.
Good morning, good afternoon, and you know what? Let's get into it. I hate Mordicai as a friend. After spending the better part of 2 years rewatching this show and seeing the characters grow in multiple different ways, I started to get a really big hate boner for Mordicai. It really comes from...
Nah, I hate to pause it already, because we're still in the intro. But one thing I will say about Mordicai, and the reason why I don't personally hate him as a character, is because I feel like that character is a lot of people in real life. It's not like over exaggerated. Some people really act that exact same way. Me personally, I've been in a situation where I love the female and I tried to move on, but it was kind of hard to move on whenever I was stuck on this other one. That's understandable. You know what I mean? I wouldn't take it to the level he took it. I can't lie, but I know a lot of people out there would, and that's what makes Mordicai such a good, well-written character in my personal opinion. Like, even though he has a lot of flaws, they're not afraid to show all his flaws. This man is a simp, right? But let's not forget, no, like, everybody in the world is different, and there's a lot of simps out there. A lot of simps. So that's what make his character. I mean, you can dislike it, but honestly, that's what I think is what makes Mordicai Mordicai. He's super loyal, even to people that don't deserve his loyalty. You know, I just want to put that out there. That's why I don't hate his character personally.
Scenes from regular show, because dear God, these annoy the hell out of me. Let's take, for example, Rigby's death.
I knew he was gonna bring this up. I knew it.
Out of all the scenes in the entirety of regular show, this is the most controversial one, because people still to this day will defend Mordicai for his actions. Let me explain. Mordicai fans will say that Mordicai had absolutely no idea what would have happened had he pushed Rigby. Of course, we saw what happened, but... Okay, let me present you with a scenario. Say you have never seen a meat grinder in your life. You didn't even know what a meat grinder was. But while at work, you and your friend were fighting. Mm-hmm. And at one point, you push your friend into a meat grinder and he, well, you know.
Okay, I see what angle he's trying to take this, but it's not the same thing though. It's really not the same thing though. Because obviously you can see it's a freaking meat grinder. Like, obviously. That's like trying to compare apples to freaking grapes. You know what I'm saying? Not even apples and oranges. You comparing an apple to a grape. Obviously, we can see the freaking apple. From afar, you might not even know that's a freaking grape. You might think that's a freaking pebble. You know what I'm saying? From afar, you know that's a freaking apple. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, he would know not to push him in a grinder. If he pushed him in that grinder, obviously, he just wanted to kill him. That was different. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that analogy was kind of bad. That's just how I personally feel. But anyways, I'm going to continue to list the way you have to say. I'm going to let him cook.
You didn't even know what a meat grinder was. But while at work, you and your friend were fighting.
Oh, he said didn't even know what a meat grinder was. I mean, but you at work. Okay, you know what?
And at one point, you push your friend into a meat grinder and he, well, you know, that
What?
doesn't suddenly...
Like, what? Like, at what point would you need to push somebody into a meat grinder in the first place? At work. See, anyways, bro.
justify what you did. I mean, why would you push somebody into a meat grinder? And in the case of Mordecai, why would you push somebody into an abyss? Even
That
if
is
it
kinda
didn't
crazy.
kill him, he'd be floating within infinity for, well, infinity.
That is crazy, though, I will admit.
Alright, with the first one done, I'm gonna rapid fire the next three so I can get to the last one and really talk about why I made this video. There's no easy way to start this, so I'm just gonna start this off by saying CJ deserved so much better. In defense of Mordecai, CJ and Mordecai weren't exactly dating yet.
Well, I agree. CJ definitely deserved better, but that's what makes Mordecai written well, in my opinion. That's what makes him written well, because he was so stuck on his ex, which they weren't really technically dating either, but he was so stuck on that past one, he didn't see what was really in his face. And that's a lot of people in today. They don't really see what they have in front of them because they stuck in the past. So when they lose what they had in front of them, now they realize, dang, I had a good one and I blew it. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly why this whole entire situation makes sense, because some people learn too late. That's why I would say, in this sense, yeah, CJ deserved better. But you know, some people have to learn the hard way. Sometimes people literally have to make mistakes before they can. And I hate that it had to be CJ that had to be the one he made the freaking buffoon mistakes on. I can't lie. But a lot of people out there make mistakes, and you just have to learn from it. And that's kind of what he did later on when he got with his next girl. You know what I'm saying? He learned from it. He decided, no, that's in the past. I can't keep getting stuck in the past. I got to move on to the future because I deserve better. I deserve somebody who loves me for me. And that's why he ended up with the next one and was able to actually stay it together. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it personally. That's why I don't really think, like, yeah, CJ definitely deserved better, but at the same time, it's like, some people have to learn, even if it hurts somebody else, some people have to learn, like, through their mistakes. So that's just a mistake he had to make.
That's the only time I'll be saying this in the entire
in my
video.
opinion.
In some of these In Defense of Mordecai videos, they defend his kind of hopeless romantic attitude as somewhat realistic take of a young man's approach to romance, or how he approaches a girl he likes. No, this is not a realistic take. This is a flanderization of that idea that is frequently used and reused to death in rom-coms. And that in itself is what makes it so frustrating to watch. I've seen this same thing happen over and over and over again, and I'm tired of it. But somehow it's worse with Mordecai. We all remember this episode, hopefully very well. Mordecai gets heartbroken because of a misunderstanding, then has a revolving door of girls he goes out with, until he finally finds CJ. Mordecai opens up about the fact that he's not really interested in dating, and CJ's cool with it, which is good. So they have fun as friends, and at the end of the day, Mordecai asks CJ if she wants to go to the movies with him.
That was kind of crazy,
so
I ain't gonna lie.
Just exploded. Just blah!
Man, oh, you guys have the worst luck or something.
I will say, Mordecai really did lead CJ on. I ain't gonna lie. He really did. That is kind of that's messed up.
Oh, I almost forgot. So I have these 2 tickets to see Lovebot 2 tomorrow. What?
She said it with no hesitation.
To go to the movies with
Now, before he can even ask the question, she immediately says yes.
She was feeling him.
And this is shaping up to be something really good for him. I mean, he's no longer heartbroken and he's having the time of his life. Then he returns to the coffee shop and reality rears its ugly head, for lack of a better word. And once he figures out that Margaret actually isn't being proposed to, he then asks Margaret if she wants to go to the movies.
Do you want to see Lovebot 2 with me tonight?
I can't lie, that right there, believe it or not, even though that's bad, like, that's crazy stupid, believe it or not, a lot of guys make this exact same mistake. That's what makes like that's what make it kind of like understandable because a lot of people have made this same mistake in real life. That's why I'm once again, me personally, I'm not defending it because I think that's crazy. Him literally asking CJ to go to it and then literally asking the girl, a different girl. I mean, obviously they friends, right? But you literally setting up 2 dates if you think about it at the same location at the same time. That's just stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, a lot of people make this mistake. And, you know, like I said earlier, that's just something that people have to go through, live life, and learn. Like, you gotta learn not to make these type of mistakes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had one right there. Don't try to make another one just because of a misunderstanding that happened previously, you know what I'm saying? You should have never, if you really wanted to know the truth, you should have never assumed that she was being proposed to in the first place. You should have just asked her up front. That's what I personally think. But once again, a lot of people make this mistake. They just assume without just getting some confirmation. They just go on what they think they see versus what they actually happen. You know what I'm saying? But that's just, once again, the reality of it, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not defending it. I'm just saying that's why I think the character within itself is a good, like, well-written. That's why I think it's well-written because, like, at the end of the day, nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. Some are stupid mistakes, yeah, but that's why I personally think his character is still, like, well-written. But that's just me, though. That's just me. That's just me.
I've got a pair of tickets.
Tonight? Yeah, sure, I'd love to.
Great, it's a date then. Haha.
Mind you, he had already asked CJ.
Yeah,
And because
see what
this
I'm
is a
saying?
cartoon and cartoons use cartoon logic, well, this happens.
Oh, hey, what's up, CJ?
CJ, what the?
Mordecai, what's going on?
Now
Oh,
take a listen
Lord.
to how our genius protagonist deals with this F-up.
We can work this out.
What do you mean, work this
We can work this out. I ain't gonna lie, that was so funny. Like, Mordicai.
Out. Wait, Mordecai.
hey, this is one of those, it's not what it looks like moments, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's one of those moments right there. It's not what it looks like, CJ.
Are you dating this girl?
Now for fans of the show, I don't have to explain what happened next. Storm clouds, store gets
Yeah.
destroyed, and CJ kind of leaves the show for a while. Now eventually they rekindle and become a couple, until this happens.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't mean to do
really
that.
wasn't.
I mean,
Mordecai? No, it's not.
CJ, wait.
And mind you, people cheat all the time. Not saying it's right, but people cheat all the time. This is one of Mordecai's mistakes. He was caught up in the moment. He saw the ex that he was actually really in love with. He was moving on to CJ, but at the same time, he really still had this love for Margaret. So he got caught up in the moment, and yeah, you know what happens. That exact same scenario happens all the time in real life. That's why I think, once again, it's good character like development, because like people cheat all the time, whether if they like want to cheat or like whether if not necessarily want to cheat, whether if they are gonna regret it in the long run or they not gonna regret it in the long run. Because some people just gonna cheat just to cheat, but a lot of people, believe it or not, cheat and they regret cheating, like actually regret cheating, because they didn't really, they got caught up in the heat of the moment, but that's not something they want to do in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Cheating is just a thing that happens. I'm not saying it's good, but once again, these type of things happen in real life. So
Now I have a very extremist view when it comes to cheating. So I've been told. I had no idea having zero tolerance for it and zero chance of reconciliation for it was grounds for being an extremist when it comes to this situation, but apparently that's what
I have no tolerance for cheating either. I ain't gonna lie. If someone cheat on me, you're done. Not gonna cap to you. So I understand. But you gotta really think about it though. We can't have this entire, like, for a character, you can't have a character that has no flaws at all. And with that being said, not many characters showcase that they cheat or they cheated, whether they regretted it later or if they didn't regret it later. So it only makes sense since he already had feelings for her in the past and all this type of things happen. It kind of makes sense that this type of thing happens. You know what I'm saying? Because it happens in real life. Whether we like it or not, but it's true. It does
what
happen.
I've been told, more than likely by closeted cheaters themselves. Now Mordicai pretty much clears the air about how he feels about Margaret to CJ in the next episode after pulling a series of stunts that lands him in the hospital, and well, everything works out for the better. Until the wedding. I don't want to talk too much about this episode because, dear God, I get so much secondhand embarrassment thinking about it, so I'll give you a quick synopsis. Muscle Man is getting married, but is too emotional to read the letter that his father wrote to him on the day of his marriage. So he asks Mordicai to do it. Mordicai reads out the entirety of the letter and then has a Disney Channel main character love speech moment. I know that's incredibly wordy, but that's quite literally the only way I can describe it. I refuse to play the entirety of this speech out because I get so much secondhand embarrassment, as I said earlier.
Yeah, that was kind of cringe.
Just find it on YouTube. This episode struck a chord with me in particular because it just did. The episode starts off with Mordicai asking Rigby if he could cover his shift. Rigby accepts. Then it happens again. He's less accepting, but he does anyway. Then it happens again. He's even less accepting, but it happens anyway. And then the gang all have a meeting at the front, and I'll just let it play out a little bit.
Sorry I'm late. I was moving CJ's couch.
Oh, I guess CJ's the remote in that relationship because she's the one with all the control. Does anyone want me to explain? Do we get it?
We get it.
I'm afraid I don't quite.
We get it.
Now pay close attention to Mordicai in this particular scene, and then remember what I said about the intro to this episode.
Come on, Mordicai, tell him how useful I am.
Yeah, I mean, you're fun.
What? No, tell him I'm useful.
I can't lie, that is kind of crazy. After literally asking him and him actually pulling through, when it comes time to defend him, you can't even do that. That is crazy, bro. That's L-Man's activity. But honestly, when we look at this angle, they were both being L friends to each other. So, like, what can you really say? This man was over here cop blocking. Literally every time Mordicai thought he was finna get to the yams, Rigby was in the way, messing it up. You know what I'm saying? And Mordicai, I guess, in certain situations, he was just doing some L friends activity. Like in this situation right here, this man literally, you know what I'm saying? Like, couldn't even back him up. Like, nobody else defending him. But of all the people that got help from Rigby, Mordicai is that guy who actually had help from Rigby. So I will say that is L-Man's activity right there. Not being able to back up your man.
Yeah, you're my friend.
Why aren't you saying the word useful?
Well, I mean, there was the time with the chairs, the limousine, the pretzel. You're basically the opposite of useful pretty much anytime we do anything.
But we did those things together.
Yeah, I mean, you were there.
So the whole time I've been covering for you and CJ?
Well, I mean, it's the least you could do.
There it is.
The least you could do is crazy.
There it is.
That is crazy.
That right there, along with one other line in this episode, is the entire reason.
Now, mind you, a lot of people, believe it or not, say just that. They do. You know what I'm saying? They don't really look at the fact that they do a lot. And they just kind of overlook it and just say that's the least you can do. I've heard people say that statement before, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not saying it's a good thing to say because it's kind of crazy. But at the same time, it just shows how he's not perfect. He makes mistakes, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, that's a crazy mistake to make, you know what I'm saying? Calling your own friend useless, but it's especially when he's literally helping you more than he helps anybody else, literally. It's kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? But once again, is anybody perfect? No. So, you know,
I made this video. All the other pieces of evidence just kind of fell into place. But that right there is the main reason this video even exists. You couldn't even give him a smidget of credit. Not even a little bit. He's been helping you the whole time, covering for you, but you couldn't give him even a smidget of credit? Every time I see this scene, or even think about it, it immediately changes my mood. Now, of course, I can't outwardly express my anger because A, I don't live alone, and B, what would I really gain from shouting into a mic? Now, unfortunately, I can't really get more clips from this episode because there aren't any non-reaction based clips from this that really show what I'm trying to say or even really prove my point. And the piracy website that I'm getting the clips from outside of YouTube is kind of been not necessarily shut down, but barely functional.
Barely functional.
So this is pretty much where the video is going to end. My apologies.
No problem, bro. No problem.
Now, before I officially end this video, I just want to point out one thing about this fan base. Frequently, whenever videos like this pointing out the faults of either Mordicai or Rigby come out, the opposing side will then point out the flaws of the opposing side. Like, say for example, in an alternate universe, I made a video talking about why I hate Rigby as a character. The Rigby fans would then point out all of Mordecai's faults, and...
True.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen in the comment section. It's just going to be a bunch of Mordecai fans pointing out Rigby's faults.
So let me guess, you're going to make a video.
But let me put it to you this way. I don't really expect much from Rigby, so his kind of stupid moments...
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. You expect way too much from Mordecai. You expect a lot from Mordecai. You don't expect nothing from Rigby. Why is that? Because Rigby is not a good friend. That's why. Mordecai, he's for the most part a good guy. He just makes a lot of mistakes, which is a lot of people in real life. So why exactly do you hate Mordecai, but then proceed to say, but I don't expect much from Rigby? You know what I'm saying? Like, you expect a lot from Mordecai because deep down you think Mordecai is a good guy. He's just not the best. Like, he could be better. Like, he could have, like, some of his mistakes are kind of crazy. Like, he made some stupid mistakes. He made some mistakes that could have been avoidable. But at the end of the day, if you think about it, though, you just said this out your own mouth. You just said that I don't expect much from Rigby. This man Rigby literally, I remember this too. This clip right here. This man Rigby literally threw away Mordecai's future. Just because Rigby couldn't have one. That right there alone is worse than anything Mordecai has done. Like, let's be real for a second. Like, I'm not trying to say, like, okay, Mordecai killed Rigby, but that was more of an accident. Rigby literally did this on purpose. See the difference? Rigby is more of an ill friend to Mordecai than Mordecai probably would ever be to Rigby. Now, granted, Rigby did redeem himself. He did. And Mordecai did kind of get worse as time went by. But when you think about it, though, that's a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, in real life. People start off bad and they get better. And some people start off good, but they get worse due to certain situations that happen in their life, you know what I'm saying? And they're able to fix it by the end most of the time, but that's not the case all the time, you know what I'm saying? But that's not the point, though. I'm just saying, like, you expecting a lot from Mordecai lets me know alone that you don't really think Mordecai is that bad of a... You don't really think he's that bad of a friend if you expect nothing from Rigby, but you expect more from Mordecai. I'm just saying, like, you don't think you can't really think that.
But let me put it to you this way. I don't really expect much from Rigby, so his kind of stupid moments don't really bother me because it's pretty much what I would expect from a character like him. And again, Rigby went through a character arc. Sure, he was a pain in the ass in the beginning, but at least he changed. Mordecai just got worse.
I can understand you on that. What the freak is this? You about to jump scare me or something? Okay. Hey, I respect your opinion, you know what I'm saying? But me personally, I think Mordecai is still a way better friend to Rigby than Rigby was to Mordecai. That's just me being honest, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, obviously, Mordecai made a lot of mistakes, did a lot of stupid stuff, especially considering he's supposed to be the smart one of the group, of the two. But I do think at the end of the day that blind love kind of gets you to that point to make you do those type of things. Act reckless, act out of pocket, out of character, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it is sometimes. Some people literally change like that for love. I'm not saying it was right, him doing some of the stuff he did. I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, that's his character, you know what I'm saying? He was able to see his flaws. Obviously, he had a lot of crazy moments where he was being a simp, you know what I'm saying? And I agree, that boy was simping hard. I can't even cap. But in the end, he was able to really see and learn from it. That's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people have to learn the hard way. Some people have to go through a lot of stupid stuff. Have to do a lot of have to make a lot of mistakes before they can actually learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people literally break other people's hearts to understand that it's not about if somebody likes you or if you just like them. It's about if y'all love each other. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Because if somebody like you but you don't like them, it ain't gonna work out unless you force to make it work. And if you like somebody but they don't like you back, unless they force to make it work, it ain't gonna work. But if y'all love each other, then it's gonna work. So that's why later on it was able to work out, and why he was able to hence get a wife, kids, and you know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, when he was with Margaret, it failed, and when he was with CJ, it failed because Margaret, he literally loved her, but she didn't love him the same way he loved her. Like, not even close. And CJ, like, and Margaret was leading him on. CJ was being led on by Mordecai. CJ loved him off the rip, but Mordecai did not love CJ like he liked her, but I don't think he really loved her that much. That's why that failed. So that's why I think he took a little more time and was able to find somebody who he truly loved. So me personally, I think his character was all about making mistakes and learning from it by the end. That's kind of what I got from his character. That's why I don't personally hate his character. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you don't get to see his character development. You just get to see his mistakes he made. You know what I mean? Rigby, on the first episode of the show, was making mistakes. Mordecai didn't come in making mistakes. He allowed his love to create problems for him. He allowed love to make mistakes. He allowed his love for Margaret to make him make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rigby was just a walking, like, mistake maker. You know, he was just making mistakes no matter what. It took his first love for him to act right. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. They're different characters. They have different character developments. That's why I don't think either character is terrible, like, characters. I just think that they're both kind of L friends to each other in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? That's just me, though. But anyways, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. Do y'all think Mordecai is a total L friend? Or do y'all think Mordecai just did some L-Maz activities, you know what I'm saying? Or do y'all think he's just a bad overall character? Y'all let me know how y'all feel about Mordecai. And we'll do this reaction to his Rigby one too, you know what I'm saying? If y'all enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below y'all thoughts, comment below that Shrek 6 what I should do in the channel next I get to what ASAP. If y'all rock with your boy, hit your boy what I follow on Instagram. It'll be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, or I should say, hope y'all enjoyed it, but I'm gone.